Tilly, get out of there. Come on, take him away. Bloody dog. Yeah, you tell him. You tell him. You tell that big fat ball. What's left of it? So here we are this afternoon. Decided to check this again the other day, and I jacked it up, and with the rim on, there was a bit more play than I had thought there would be. You know, there had been. I can only think that I must have checked the play around here when it wasn't, when the rim was, I'd already taken the rim off. It's got a drum brake, parking brake. Going to take this out. There is still movement there, so you can see that. I don't know how I missed that the first time. So I'll change this wheel bearing, have a look at it. I've also had a look underneath here at this torsion bar under here. Whatever you want to call it. Alpinies will call it something else. I don't know whether you can see this, but there should be 6 bolts holding it on, and there's only like 4, or 3.5 or something, or 4.5 or something. So you can see the hole up there. One of those is a spendy looking little thing. I hope you can see this. That's how it goes together with this sort of suspension from the 1970s without a shock absorber. And they work surprisingly well when they work properly. You know, they give you limited trouble, which sometimes is a good thing with sidecars. Keeps it flat, fairly flat, you know. I don't mind them at all. And in fact, when I first got the Triumph with fully, you know, proper shock absorbed suspension, it wandered all over the road like Brown's cows, and had to sort of end up getting like a 1,500 pound Chinese thumper single shock, and that cured most of the problem. Anyway, I'll pull this off and see what happens. So we've got 1, 2, 3 spaces inside to outside between this nut and the bearing. And what the tarnation is going on here? Stub axle. There's movement there still, isn't there? Interesting. We might take this to a bearing shop and see what we can do with it, eh? See if we can get a bearing that's gonna do what it's supposed to do. This one looks pretty not up to the job. It might be, I don't know what it is. You know, a lot of these stub axles and stuff are from Mini Miners, Morris Minis, you know, from the 60s, 70s, early 70s kind of thing. Interesting though. Tilly, get out of there. What are you doing? I'm not going to throw that. Seriously, yes you are. You tell him. You tell him. You tell that ball. You tell him. Yeah, you tell him. Yeah, you tell him. Yeah, you tell him. Complete idiot. Sunday afternoon, she's a bit bored. We had a short walk this morning, but we need another one apparently. So, stub axle. Let's have a look. No, I can't see a thing. Yeah, the whole thing moves. I'm pretty. Well, does it? To think about this one. So I'm still a bit mystified by this whole thing. You know, I'm sort of first of all horrified by the bearing and those three spaces with it. But you know, if you put it back in with those spaces, you know, it does what it's supposed to do. There's no real movement on the spline, as it were. It's the whole thing that's moving. So I'll still replace this anyway. But no, it's still a bit of a mystery. I'm still not entirely sure if that's enough movement to be doing what it's doing, unless it's kind of a combination of this moving that way, and these spaces aren't enough to stop it moving laterally, so it's moving laterally and then moving as well. So who knows? I'm not a physicist or an engineer. Till you get out of there. Come on, take him away. Bloody dog. That's the way. Get some dirt in the bearing. It's alright. I'll replace it. Just kind of see. I can't get myself in there to see what's going on here. Then I just want to see if the camera will pick it up. What do you think? Is that enough movement? Well, you don't know unless you've ridden it, I suppose. And I suppose once it transfers to a diameter out here somewhere, it's going a fair way. I'll think about that one. You tell him. You tell him. Now you tell that ball. Hey, what's going on with that ball? She was just tearing right into it until... Oh, there's a cat. There's Keith as well. What's going on, big bloke? Yeah. This is all happening here in the Central West. Keith. Oh, we're going. Keith even likes drinking out of puddles. Now it's a bit frustrating, this business of trying to work this out. I'm trying to work out what to do with this, whether I should just take this drum hub off altogether and not tell anyone, see what happens. Replace the I was going to say replace the stub axle and torsion bizzo with a spare one that I've got, but I'm not sure whether that's going to work. Certainly the one on the Harley would work, but we don't want to do that. I'm going to have to pull the whole thing off and see. I guess that's as simple as that, isn't it, in the end? Stop freaking about. All having a drink out of the puddle, are we? She's only drinking out of that because he did. I'm going to have to stop freaking about and pull the boat off, I suppose, and get in there properly and replace those bolts for a start and go on from there.